Tim,
And I'm Kelly Anise.
and we're here at Wonderful Forest Park
Hey, check us out at Tim T Reality TV.
on Facebook.
Yeah, and like our page, because we like you.
Please.
Come on down to finish buying up on the Del Mar Loop. No?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And dance right here.
Bumper stickers are free.
Hey, this is a Tim T Reality Show, and I'm sitting here with my friend Tiffany.
Hello.
She's a very beautiful person.
Thank you.
How are you, my dear?
I'm good, but this session is not about me. This session is about our friend here,
Who?
Dr. Norris Lee Roberts Jr.
Who is that?
He is an author, published author.
That's right.
This guy right here.
My friend, Dr. Robert Lee
He's
Roberts Jr. is in the house.
He's here to tell us about his
I went to his
experience.
graduation. I went to his graduation downtown. This guy had a nice, very nice doctorate, right? You got your doctorate?
Yes.
Yeah, he had his got his doctorate. Very beautiful laid out. It was at the anyway, someplace downtown. It was a really nice setup. He has written a book. Matter of fact, he's had a couple books, but he's gotten a book that came.
It's about his experiences with him and his mother as she's been experiencing Alzheimer's throughout the years and going through various stages, and has many devotionals in there for if you have a loved one that's having problems like that. But I'm going to shut up about it. I'm going to let Dr. Norris Roberts here tell you about his book.
So what we want you to do is stay tuned, and we're going to run over here and take a break, okay? So get anybody you know that wants to be, because this is very informational about Alzheimer's, or anyone that's dealing with Alzheimer's, with a mother, father, brother, sister, anyone. Go get them, have them sit in and listen in, okay? We'll be back. You're listening to ABC 30, the Tim T Reality Show.
The Tim T Reality Show, the first St. Louis-based reality show. We'll be introducing to you St. Louis's best of the best hangouts and entertainment spots in the St. Louis area.
Hi, we're back with Dr. Norris Lee Roberts Jr. and his book, Mama Is Still Here. Now, this book is especially important to me because my grandmother is dealing with Alzheimer's, and that's what this book is dealing with, and his mother-son relationship and her journey with Alzheimer's over the last several years.
Yes. My mother, she was diagnosed when she was 65 years old. She's 72 years old now. This book came about just through my personal grief. I was trying to figure out ways to cope, and a book came out of it. The book has 21 stories in it. Each story begins with an epilogue, and it goes into describe what the symptoms are that my mother's going through, and also share some of the strategies that we use to overcome some of those symptoms. And then after I just tell the story, some of the stories are pretty funny and some are sad. But after you tell the story, I follow the story with a scripture. I call it Scripture Help, to let people know that the scripture's here to help you. And also I have prayers in there, more corporate prayers that really just to inspire the sufferer and also inspire the caregiver as they journey through this very insidious disease.
Okay, okay. Now there was one part in the book that read about the mirror, like mirror, mirror, and your mother actually had I'll say episode where that she kept seeing the past, or explain that to me. What happened on that?
But one of the challenges with Alzheimer's, one of the first things to go is your short-term memory. Mm-hmm. And being a short-term memory is the first thing to go. When she looked, my mom looked to the mirror, she could not retain enough of her memory to know that's how she looks today.
Right.
Wow.
And so what would happen, what happened, she would come get me, and she would say, that woman's in the bathroom right now. Mm-hmm. And so I go in there with her. I said, Mama, that's not the woman, that's you. Mm-hmm. And so she said, it can't be me because that's not how I look. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, this is a mirror. And so you see me in the mirror, mm-hmm. and she see my reflection. She said, well, and then she get puzzled, and she would say, well, how can that be? I see your reflection, but I don't see my reflection. Mm. So what happens in the brain, their short-term memory, they can't retain enough of it to go to a long-term memory. Okay. And what ends up happening, they forget how they look in the present. Because one of the things that they wonder in most of the time is their long-term memory. Mm-hmm. That's the last thing to go. You have to think of it this way. The way Alzheimer's work, it's like erasing your memory going backwards. Mm-hmm. And so it's like a chalkboard, and it's being erased. So what's most present is going to be erased first.
Okay.
And
All
what's there that's you know, been there the longest is going to stay there longest. Because oftentimes they can tell you what happened 20 years ago,
Right.
Yes.
but they can't tell you what
Childhood memories,
right. They can't tell you what happened 2 minutes ago.
Right, right,
They can go into great detail about what happened, you know, 30 years ago.
Right.
right.
So that's what the mirror is really about. And I just kind of share that story because I think a lot of people who've had loved ones go through Alzheimer's, they get that. But those of us who's new to this, like I was new to it, we don't know what's going on. That's one of the purposes of this book right here. It's more of a guide to show people, a guide to show them like what it is to come as a
So it won't be a surprise to them. They have something to hold on to.
Right. Because for me, it was like a huge surprise. So and I couldn't find anything out there that I could like pick up and just, you know, like and learn what's to come. I didn't know. So everything was like it was all brand new.
Learning all the way through it.
Right. And so and it's so unpredictable. And what happened? And there's no rhyme or reason to it, but at least this gives you some kind of footing. You know, having this as a guide, and
That's a good word.
some kind of footing. You just need something to hold on to, and what I like about it is just the feedback I'm getting from people that read the book. They are excited because of it shows them what the progressions are, and also what it does in addition to that, it has the scriptures and the prayers. And that's very inspiring for a lot of people. And so a lot of people, what they're doing, they're keeping the book, the ones that are caregivers, they keep the book handy all the time.
Right.
Because
They need that encouragement.
Right.
Right, they need encouragement. Just that you go through your moments, you go through depression, you're going through grief. You're going through all the phases of grief.
Right.
And that's what, you know, and what you got to try to get to a place of acceptance. Because one of the challenges I had was that, you know, I would, you know, go to my parents' house, I help my dad, my mom, you know, bathe her, things like that. And I would go somewhere and cry for 2 hours.
For sure, for sure.
And so
It's overwhelming.
right, because this is like the person that brought life to you in this
Right.
world, the person you looked up to, and like this person, you know, can't tie their shoes anymore. They can't do. They've forgotten a lot of. They don't know who you are, and so. And so that being said, it was like a lot of grief, and so that's how I learned to just find joy in this journey. Where's your joy? Through joy, there's strength.
Right.
And so I had to come to a place where I can like be able to help my dad more without just being so crushed all the time.
Right.
And I think that's what this book does. It helps people heal.
So this book helped you heal.
Right.
Really.
And I continue to, I mean, even though I wrote the book, I pick it up today and I read parts of it when I'm having them low moments. And so it helps me.
That's great. That's fantastic.
So, and it's also, it's a wonderful tribute to my mother because she's a great mother. I mean, she was like you look at those old TV movies, like the Cleavers. I mean, she was definitely that perfect homemaker. And so
that's a great memory.
Yeah.
And so just to share some of those memories with you all, with the world, it fills my spirit. It makes me feel good because this has been a very tragic journey for our family, and we can't, you know, save my mother from this disease, but at least we can help others through it. Because right now, the statistics are getting stacked pretty high with Alzheimer's. 5 million people are diagnosed right now with Alzheimer's.
Wow, 5 million people.
And you start thinking about factoring in the number of caregivers and family members.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people involved, that's for sure.
It's actually, you're looking at tens of millions of people that are impacted by this disease, and there's no cure for it.
No cure. Yeah.
There's no cure for it.
And basically, it's going, like you said, everything is reversed. It's like going from baby to young adult to senior, then you're going from senior back to adult. It just really reverses itself. I've seen it happen with my great aunt. She had Alzheimer's, and she ended up, when she passed away, she was actually in a fetal position. She was actually in a fetal position. Now, why, I don't know, but I mean, she literally went from A to Z back to Z to A.
Well, it's probably a reason why, because she's probably, that's all she can remember. because it attacks your memory.
Yeah.
And it attacks the knowledge that you have in your being. I mean, it goes as far as a person becomes comatose at all times. And so that's in the last stage.
Yeah.
And so like my mom, she's in a stage now where she's not talking. And so there's like very little communication at all.
Yeah.
Every once in a while she'll speak, but it's becoming less and less.
Yeah.
And it's been declining, but it's kind of
Is
like
it a form of like a kind of a discouragement because maybe to herself she's saying, this doesn't make any sense what I'm saying, so I'm just not going to say anything, or I just can't quite get the words together, so I'm just not going to say anything, or is it just a part of it? I mean,
it's a part of the disease because what happens, they cannot put the words together anymore.
Okay, so then
there's a chapter in my book that's called "You Belong to Me," and my mother. I talk about in that chapter how I went to my parents' room and my mom didn't know who she knew who I was. She couldn't call my name, but she told me in that moment. She said that she said, "I know you belong to me."
okay.
And so that kind of prepared me for the time when she was not going to be able to call my name, because in that moment she was letting me know that I know I can't call your name, but that's okay. But I know you belong to me.
Me.
And so, and I still feel that to this day. It's in the book. It's one of the chapters. And to this day, I go over to my parents' house. I spend time with her, and when she hears my voice, you can see her like smile, or you can see her like turn her head. So she knows.
She recognizes your voice. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, I think she knows more than she can communicate. And I think and that's one thing I try to share in this book. People have to understand that they're not gone. That's why the book is called "Mama is Still Here." She's still here. They are not able to function in the same capacity that they once did before they've acquired this disease.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, this is very informational, and the TMT Reality Show, we don't just stick to music. We do anything that can be informational or helpful to anyone. Then that's what we're about, And Alzheimer's is something. If you're not dealing with it, somebody you know will deal with it. And so this is Dr. Robert Lee Norris Jr. that we talked to.
Dr. Norris Lee Roberts Jr.
That's what I said. Anyway, on a brighter note, his book. Where can we pick your book up at?
I have a website. My website is Norris L. Roberts Jr. Or I have another domain out there called Mama Is Still Here. The book can be purchased on my website. The publisher name is Zulon Press. Another place you can purchase the book as well is Amazon and Barnes & Noble on their websites.
Okay.
So
or you can go to
said you
TMT
have a
Reality.
website?
Okay. Yes.
Norris L. Roberts Jr. at
It's
or
.com.
.com. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Or we will post it on our site at TMT Reality TV. We will get that on there, and that information will be there too, so that if you want to purchase this book, or if you want to get a hold of this young man, he'll be there. So the TMT Reality Show would like to thank Norris for Dr. Roberts for coming and taking this time with the TMT Reality Show.
Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you so much.
And you inspire me to spend more time with my grandma now before it gets to those stages.
Yes. So please tell the one that you love them, and the TMT Reality Show.
And I think we got it. And that's one thing I try to share in this book. People have to understand
Clear. That was good.
They're not gone.
That was good.
That's why the book is called Mama Is Still Here. She's still here. They are not able to function in the same capacity that they once did before they've acquired this disease.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, this is very informational, and the TMT Reality Show, we don't just stick to music. We do anything that can be informational or helpful to anyone. Then that's what we're about, And Alzheimer's is something. If you're not dealing with it, somebody you know will deal with it. And so this is Dr. Robert Lee Norris Jr. that we talked to.
Dr. Norris Lee Roberts Jr.
That's what I said. Anyway, on a brighter note, his book. Where can we pick your book up at?
I have a website. My website is Norris L. Roberts Jr. Or I have another domain out there called Mama Is Still Here. The book can be purchased on my website. The publisher name is Zulon Press. Another place you can purchase the book as well is Amazon and Barnes & Noble on their websites.
Okay.
So
Or you can
you
go to
said
Tim
you
T
have a
Reality.
website?
Okay.
Yes.
Norris L. Roberts Jr. at
It's
or
.com. .com.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Or we will post it on our site at Tim T Reality TV. We will get that on there, and that information will be there too, so that if you want to purchase this book, or if you want to get a hold of this young man, he'll be there. So the Tim T Reality Show would like to thank Norris for Dr. Roberts for coming and taking this time with the Tim T Reality Show.
Thank you for being here with
Thank
me.
you so
and
much.
you inspire me to spend more time with my grandma now before it gets to those stages.
Yes.
So.
So please tell the one that you love them, and the Tim T Reality Show will be right back. Clear. That was good. That was good.